Hey traders, Nick looking at Tesla after hours. The point of this video, first of all, today is the 25th January. The point of this video to encourage people to look into options even though they don't trade options, because there's a bunch of information in there. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I looked at the options for Microsoft and I interpreted for the members, and the price action after hours was almost penny perfect, and I'll review it at the end if I have time. And this time it was also for Tesla. So this is the day closed. First of all, the day started rattled down 1%. The markets crawled back up to flattish green, especially on the backs of companies like Tesla closed up 0.4%, going into its own quote scary moment of earnings. So they released the earnings, they went crazy down, crazy up, and then flat. And now they're up big. Well, how big? I don't know. Let me double check. 4%. On top of an up, Tesla has rallied so much off of the bounce, right? So let me show you what the options had said they could do. So this was my interpretation before the market closed. I said, based on this week's options, me looking into the options table, I see some downside pressure to 139. They fell, the low today was 138 and change, and they bounced after hours off of 141. I think they may have gone, 141 and change. So that's pretty close to, I said downside pressure to 141, 139. They went to 141.8. And then I said support there, and look how they bounced. Then they rallied up into resistance is scattered around 145.5 and 150. So 145.5 and 150. So they went into, that's 150 right there. So, and that's 147 and 145.5 somewhere here. So they tested the floor, they found the buyers that were hiding. They tested the limits and they found the sellers. And they went back to the middle, and now they're thinking about it. So I stated also, I read something somewhere else in a program called Tradietics. I looked at their interpretation of the actual transactions to see if I can get more information about the options. And there it looked like the range of action today pretty much opened the door for a free-for-all as a reaction for tomorrow or this week's options. So don't be surprised. How about I say it differently? Expect the unexpected tomorrow. It's like they opened the door for a giant rally or a giant drop. So don't trust anything with conviction. So if you think it's going to the moon and you get profits, be open to booking a little bit faster than normal, because we don't know what's going to happen. And if you're shorting it and it starts rallying, be open to the fact that it could go to the moon. It's going to be Wild West tomorrow, because this action washed out all the information I had. So I will have to revisit the options table tomorrow to see how today's action reset the support and resistance. But the point of this video is to encourage you to start looking at the options tables. It's a plethora of information. This wasn't a fluke. If you were with me yesterday, it was even more accurate on Microsoft. So this is Microsoft. Last night they reported earnings, and they had a spike and then a giant dip into the open. And boy, could we have told this would happen. This was my interpretation before the close yesterday. So right here. And another thing today in Microsoft that was pretty exciting anyway. So this is my comments yesterday before the earnings reaction. Microsoft implied volatility is double the usual, so don't buy calls and puts for this week. Buy them out in time and sell the ones against them for this week. And I said the options data suggests it's easier to rally, but not too far, and resistance will start at 252 into 253.5. So they spiked. This is 253.5, somewhere up here. So they failed at exactly, I've done a video on this one, but that's a reminder. They failed here, and then they fell into here, and that point was 231. I said if it falls to 231 to 227, it should find buyers there. And boy, did they find buyers. So the update on this is that this morning, I thought there was a harmonic pattern not my skills. I have a program that draws them. This was drawn by hand, copying another program. And I said target 1, 2, and 3, those 3 red lines. I said I can pretty much guarantee target 1. Target 2 is iffy. Target 3 is not likely to happen. Boy, they did more than I expected, but they still respected that. So anyway, all this information is available in any options chain. You do not need tools. You just need the time to develop the skills. Just look at it and start saying, okay, if they say most options expire worthless, so don't chase where most options are. That's usually where the support and resistance are. So if you see a pile of calls, that's resistance. If you see a pile of puts, that's support. Think about it. Opposite. Think about it from the seller's perspective, the market maker. Don't be the buyer. Think about the seller. How does the seller lose money? And it's not likely to happen. That's the mentality of it. All right, hopefully that helps. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to debate it, we have comments below. Feel free to share the video. And if you don't subscribe to the channel, subscribe to it. It's free still. And hit the bell so you can be notified when I release new videos.